Hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. Bitcoin is still pushing a little higher in line with the forecast of the last update. To be honest, the price hasn't really moved a lot, but it's currently trying to push higher again. Yeah, in line also what we've seen in previous days. So I promised that I start with the daily time frame today to get everybody on the same page. We do that once a day, especially at the moment. I think very important to help everybody understand where we are, to get everybody on the same page, especially new viewers. And yeah, the idea is that obviously we take a look at the different time frames that the viewers like as well, because here on the daily time frame, for example, we very recently had a swing trading opportunity. Not everybody likes the smaller time frames, of course, but there are viewers and members who rather like to get positioned for the longer time frame, medium time frame, and this was an opportunity here in our yellow support zone. That's why they are on the chart. They are large and colorful, and they offer you the possibility to find entry points. Now, if you use them, that's of course entirely up to you. They are not specifically, long entries. Essentially, everybody needs to decide that for themselves, but what we can do only is to present the levels within which the price should find a reversal if the wave count is correct. Okay, so they also offer as a warning if they break, for example. Yeah, so it's all looking good. The support did hold, and the primary preferred scenario was that this support area is holding and we're moving higher in wave 5 of 3. Not always, these support areas are reached in pullbacks. We had shallow pullbacks on the Bitcoin chart in 2023, but still most support areas were reached. I think it happened only very rarely that they broke. Certainly that happens at some point, but most of the time they did hold, indicating a bullish market. Yeah, indicating a bullish market. It's not about being right or wrong in the analysis. It's about understanding which levels need to hold so that we can stay on the right side of the trend. That's ultimately what it's about. It's all about identifying the trend, identifying areas where one can position oneself. It's not about right or wrong, that's just ego stuff that I'm not really involved in. So the idea is that we are now moving up in this fifth wave of the third wave. The yellow support zone is still relevant. It basically tells us the risk on the daily time frame. You might ask, why the risk? Well, because I don't really know if this chart is turning into a different scenario until the chart breaks below 35k. So that means we have to drop from 52 to 35 to indicate that something more bearish is going on, actually below that. Because only a break of 35k would confirm that this here is not a wave 4. I mean, currently, but then we would have to look at the 1 hour time frame. The primary scenario is that this wave 4 finished. But it could easily be that the wave 4 is still unfolding. Anybody who's entering based on the daily time frame, for example, you might get another opportunity if we see that orange wave count play out, which is essentially part of the same scenario. It's just a question, did the wave 4 already bottom, which is and has been over recent weeks the primary scenario, or is the wave 4 still unfolding? And then it would be A wave down, overshooting B wave, C wave down. Basically as a so-called flat structure, which happens quite often, especially in a fourth wave. But at the moment, the idea is, wave 4 bottomed and we're now in the fifth wave. Should take us to 55,000 plus. If you watch the videos over the recent weeks, then you know that 55,000 plus is and has been a target. So it's basically unchanged. It's just that should we break below a certain level that I highlight on the 1 hour time frame, it means that we're likely getting back into the yellow support zone. Someone asked me, how long will it take to get back? Or, well, if I can't say that, why is that information helpful? Well, the information is helpful because you need to know what happens if we break below micro support. What happens? People might panic, okay, but you need to have a plan B. You need to know what happens if micro support, which I'm calling out on the 1 hour chart, breaks. It might indicate that, oh, you want to leave the trade, you want to exit your trade that you possibly entered down here, okay? Or it might mean that you just want to get positioned for another entry or for another position you want to add in, you want to scale in. So yeah, they are the relevant levels. Only a break below 35k will unlock a different, more bearish scenario. It would, however, not be overall bearish. It would still be part of a bullish scenario. At the moment, however, the trend is up. We're focusing on the trend, so we're going with the trend, and it's key to understand which levels need to break so that the trend ends. And on the 1 hour time frame, we can define that very well. On the 1 hour time frame, the support is currently located at 46,868. This would be the deepest pullback possible in this fourth wave, which I would actually still like to see. But that is the key level. So before we talk about the structure, this level is really key, 46,868. If that level breaks, we're likely entering the yellow box again. However, in the primary scenario, as I just said, I'm following the white wave count, which suggests that this here was a wave 1, this here was a wave 2, this wave 3 is likely still unfolding, and then we should still see a fourth wave and a fifth wave. So 55,000 plus, I'm specifically not giving you a maximum target. I mean, my overall bull market target is 125k, and I can highlight that 58k is the next major Fibonacci level, but we don't want to guess when this trend ends, especially not in a third wave. Yeah, I always communicate that. Especially people who are new to Elliott Wave. I know it's tempting to try to understand when does a third wave end, when can I re-enter. It's best not to think about that in a third wave, right? Elliott Wave tells us a third wave is likely the most aggressive wave. Best approach is just to ride the trend, try to ride the trend until the end, and we use the Elliott waves to understand when the trend breaks. So, but it could be the risk is there that we're still in this wave 4 and we are just in a high B wave, but even then, I like to see this additional 4-5 pattern. Now, I mentioned yesterday, because of the height of that move, the significance of that move, it might be that we are already in circle wave 5. Okay, but yeah, I'm not going to entertain the idea until we really break support and it shows that already the top there is in. But that's basically where we are. Now let's take a look at the 30-minute chart. I added the micro, or let's say nano count earlier today. These are unreliable, but I recognize that there are possibly 5 waves here, indicating again, possibly at least the local top is due, but not yet, okay? So it might still stretch higher, possibly even to 54k. Either way, the nano counting allows us when we can say that possibly some kind of a top is in place, and a sort of top is likely in place with a break below 51,050. Well, that doesn't mean circle wave 4 has necessarily started, but it might be that at least this immediate increase is likely over. We get a bit of a breather, and then we can watch if the price comes into this support zone, which is not a must, okay? It's just that this is support, not a target. As long as it's holding, we're focusing on higher. 46,868 is the line in the sand, which is really what the analysis is about. Okay, that's my update about Bitcoin. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also, make sure that you follow us on Instagram and Twitter for additional content. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.